Well, and Congressman, we've seen mixed reactions on the Hill tonight, too. We've had critics and supporters, both Democrats and Republicans. It's been a mix of people who have different interests and concerns about what we've done tonight. We've heard even from many who supported the strikes tonight saying it's time for the president now to come and sit down and explain to Congress and the American people exactly what the plan is moving forward in Syria. What would you like to hear from him as a lawmaker?
Well, I think just a couple of weeks ago, the president was signaling that he was willing to do that. He wanted to come forward. He wanted to hear from Congress, and he's correct in that assessment. The chemical use changes that. It's always within the authority of the president to protect the national interest of our republic when it comes to weapons of mass destruction. And so the fact that he did it with our instruments of national power and he did it with our allies, this is a very strong signal. And even if we had Great Britain and France, we've had support from a large global community. I wouldn't want to be Russia and Iran right now trying to defend an untenable position. So in terms of Congress, yeah, let's have the discussions. But the president had already kind of opened some of that up a couple of weeks ago.
Jason, how do you think that Putin is going to respond here? Not only to the strikes, not only to the president saying, hey, listen, you've got to stop supporting Assad, and asking point blank the question to Russia and Iran, why would you want to support someone he calls a murderer who's taking the lives of innocent men, women, and children, his own people, in such a heinous manner? But he's also pointing the finger at Putin, saying in 2013, you said these weapons were gone. This was your responsibility. Essentially, this wouldn't have happened had you done your job. He's called him out publicly now. You know Putin's not going to like it.
Oh, look, Putin's history is from the KGB. He's going to do it through lies and deception. He's already had his top lieutenants out there denying that there was even a chemical attack in the first place. Remember, this is a person who went into Crimea and just took it. He went into Georgia and took nearly 20+% or so of the state of Georgia, signed a document saying they would withdraw. They never withdrawn. They've actually started to build up fortresses there. And so they will use the every apparatus at their fingertips through lies and deception and propaganda to try to tell people that the United States is wrong and that this was a rightful and just act and that the United States is, again, a warmonger. And but you know what? The one other thing I want to say, Shannon, I am so proud of the men and women who serve in our military. They go and they do what their president, no matter what party he's in, and they get the job done. And by all accounts, they did a wonderful job tonight executing on what the president needed to have done.
And both of the gentlemen sitting with me here tonight in the studio are men who have served our country in that way. Congressman,
yes.
What does it mean to our men and women who have to carry out this mission to know exactly what they're doing and exactly what's going to be expected of them long term?
Well, I think what would be going through my mind if I were still serving, participating in this operation, you wouldn't have any reservations about what this was about tonight. When you see children with their lungs ripped out with chlorine gas, it's pretty clear. And so, that matters when you have clarity of the mission and what it's about as well.
And quick word from you, David, before we have to go to break.
Yeah, absolutely. The clarity of the mission is important, and that was, for this strike, it's there. I think going forward, they need to define what are we doing, and that gets the soldiers and everybody else behind it even more. But they're going to remain apolitical and do their jobs. That's what soldiers, airmen, sailors, they do.
Yeah, and our president rightly called them great warriors tonight. He said warriors he wants to bring home.